Alright, guys, it's me again, talking about my opinion about stuff, and today I'm going to tackle the problem that has become not gender ideology, but the discussion on it. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of videos about how Matt Watson tackled this question, and same goes for the left side. And sorry guys, I know you have great IQs, but I believe you guys are all pretty much stupid. Okay, we know how dividing a society can be very unhealthy to it. History has shown us that, okay, mankind do not need such divisions. So let's pretty much tackle some topics. I pretty much separated them here. Don't know if everyone can see it, but anyways, maybe um, later another streamer with more views will probably take that same idea and record a better and an edited video. So let's just tackle the fundamentals. So basically, I'm a male, okay, a human, an adult, and a male, and I'm a black person, okay? That's my sex. That's scientific fact that cannot be subjective to anything. And that's not a bad thing. We need those things. I'm not talking that only to people from the right or the left. I will explain that soon enough, okay? So basically, when you talk to a person more to the right, oftenly they tend to think about sex, how your chromosomes are arranged, your DNA. So they would identify you as a male or female, okay, on the surface. And that's fine. We need those things. Or our DNA need to be classified. Because if we do not do this, we will have men competing against female in things that only men can win. Okay, that's just a fact, and it's happening, and it's bad. Okay, now if we talk about gender ideology, then that things go up to the roof. And the problem with that is not the gender ideology itself, nor the discussion, but the questions that are being made, okay, and how they are being made. For instance, if someone asks me, uh, what's your sex? I will answer then that I'm a male, and I will put two examples here on this one. I will be needing them, and two other friends of mine will also say the same. But when you ask them what they identify with it, they one of them will say that he identifies himself as a joker because he likes joking and sometimes he take actions like Joker himself would do. Not not all that psychopathic killing stuff, but more in the chaos manner of doing things. And the other identify himself as a chaos creator, an agent of chaos. He will do whatever he pleases to create chaos when something is too orderly and wrong. So to correct it, he might actually instigate chaos into a situation or a person and things like that. Okay? That's how they identify with. I cannot disprove their beliefs. And they do not require my acceptance. They do not require my confirmation that they are there, my validation for it. And you know why? Because that's how gender works. And that's the first question that should be asked. Because most of these people from the transgender and things like that, they require validation from other people. Okay? So when you tackle them with the question, what are you? It will be hard for them to answer, I'm a male or I'm a female, because they're not thinking about their sex, they thinking about how they identify themselves. But when you go further beyond and why they identify themselves like that, instead of saying, well, I feel like it, so I am it, or I act like it, so I am, they will say that people tell them that they are those things. Okay? And that's the first problem. because maybe they need some help with that. I do not have a problem with the transgender as long as they identify themselves with that, requiring no validation from somebody else. Okay? So I say they had it straight, and I also say that they have a firm belief in it. I will never or try to disprove them because they identified it and they do not require validation. That's enough. Okay? We're not talking about sex here, we're talking about gender, how they feel socially about themselves. Okay, so if a man comes to me and tell me, look, dude, I'm a male, but I identify myself as a female because I don't know, I do some stuff like that. Okay, 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 dude. As long as you know that you're a male, I don't care if you identify yourself as a, I don't know, anything else, because scientifically you're accurate and psychologically you are also correct. You should be and feel like whatever makes you happy. Okay, that's the point. You should not merge sex and gender like it's a thing, because it's not. Sex is something that is specific, is scientifically proven and unsubjective, while gender is not. Gender is how a person feel, as long as doesn't need a validation for that. Okay, and most of this transgender, they are on this blind fight because they want validation, and we should not be trying to convince a transgender that he's a male or a female, but they we should try to convince them they should be whatever they feel happy with. If you identify yourself as that and you are happy with it, that is the true question we should be doing to them. Okay? And as on the other side, they should understand those things. Look, I'm a male or I'm a female, but I identify as something else. Okay? Well, I will leave where I'm identifying with by the end of the video. So follow me up to there if you want to know more about it. I will give examples that lead me to that. So let's continue. So the wrong questions and divide was there. So basically, by doing the wrong questions and the wrong affirmations, we are pretty much creating more divisions in society that are unneeded and unhealthy. Okay, we should pretty much stop doing that. So when you find a transgender, I don't care if you're a big influencer or if you're smaller or if you're just a civil person talking to an acquaintance. Okay, first, try to make them understand that biologically, okay, they're a male, and there's a whole class of stuff that as men we should be doing because our physics pretty much describes that. Okay, most people who will probably see this and around the world often talk about this, but we all know our father used to work and our mother used to raise us. Okay, we have a good man and a good woman doing that. Aside from people who wasn't created with their father, but there is always a male figure for that. Okay, so the first try to explain then that scientifically he's a male or female, and that's not a bad thing. Okay, these are just set up then on society, on their jobs or their sports or their hobbies. Okay, so first and foremost, do that. Then be a, a person that can accept how they feel like what they are, and ask what kind of validation they have for it, and then guide them to validate themselves instead of looking for somebody else's validation. For instance, we know that we're men because we do not require validation from anyone, and we tell ourselves that. Okay, and women are just the same. But transgender doesn't, they don't think like that. They require validation. Even those who say they don't, you can observe that they will keep trying to be validated. So first and foremost, we need to teach them to feel good about it and to be happy with that and really identify themselves with that. Because okay, men are faulty on that and women too. When back in the day, when a man see a more feminine other dude, we usually to prank him, make jokes. Same goes for women when they see a girl that usually the old term were tomboy, a tomboy girl, they used to prank her or, or make jokes with her, and that's bad. Okay, those were bad habits that people had, and up to today, most people still do. Okay, that's just wrong. We should actually policy on this one. But you know, after we learned that those things are a reality and that they aren't quite bad, they're not even uncommon, things start following place. They all fell in place. So let's start with that, okay? I do not know if I'm making any sense to most people, but that's just how it is, okay? First and foremost, if a friend tell you he's a transgender, first, help him to be scientifically accurate because that's something important, and then help him accept and validate himself on his own terms. Show him that he doesn't not need your validation to identify himself as a woman or as a wolf, or whatever he wants to validate himself. Okay, this will help them feel better and fulfill that need to be accepted, as well as you will be a better person because you start to accept people for what they feel like, what they truly are, not denying scientific facts. It's basically a middle ground, a middle term, okay? And that again, let's not involve children into that. No gender policy on school. If a person in their infants have to become a transgender, that will something that will come off naturally. When they grow old and hit adults, they will probably feel those things and decide from themselves. Let's not mix that with education, with science, with studies, and all that things, those things. Okay, so let's keep things separate, at least on this point. Do not involve children on gender policy and discussions. And as an adult, let's be on the right side, more accepted and more patient with them. And people from the left, stop trying to get validation from somebody else. Okay, be scientific accurately in the first place, and secondly, accept yourself first. Then whatever other people say won't matter because that's how you feel about it and nobody can prove you wrong. So to finish that video, which is very long, okay, mm, how would I identify myself? Oh, I could say that I'm basically a god. What do you think about gods? They give straight answers, find middle ground, um, resolve fights, okay, and help people. I do all those stuff in my life from like childhood to adulthood. It doesn't matter. I have always done those things. Mediate fights, help people, okay? People coming to me, bringing an image to me from things that I do not even believe I could do, but I end up being able to do just because people think I can do it. So it's basically what we define as a God. Can somebody prove that I'm not a form of God? That's my point. I'm a human adult male. but I can identify myself as a god because what I do and because my self validation, nobody can prove me wrong, and I feel good about it. My life won't change if somebody just say that I'm a nobody because in my own validation, I will be always be that good guy, that good God. Okay, so I am a god. I have a friend that is a joker, and another is an agent of chaos, and we're fine with that because first we know we're all males. Second, we're happy with what we identify, and we do not require somebody else's validation. And second, we do not fight people over it or divide society over it. We found a common ground. So all I ask is for everybody else's to do basically the same. Or do you want to keep fighting merging stuff? Like, dude, what? Let me be straight with that. If your neighbor is a transgender and you're not, he's fully left and you are fully right. If he's a transgender and you say, dude, you're male, and he doesn't believe you because he's a transgender, he identifies himself as a woman, okay? None of you are found the middle ground. You're both fighting over nothing, and in the long term, these will change nothing in both of your lives. We're just finding something to do, a new hobby or a new fun stuff to do for both of you so you can talk to your peers like, oh, you know, my neighbor, he's very sexist, or you know, my neighbor, he's from the left, he doesn't see things straight, right? And that's stupid because you could be talking about something else, a new movie that has come, a new song that is being written. Maybe you made a new song but you're not talking about that thing, or maybe you just discover a new thing that you like but you're not talking about that because you're talking about the fight of your neighbor, and that's fucking boring. Oh, sorry about that language though, but that's boring as hell, literally, because your friends, your peers do not want to listen about fights. They want to listen about good stuff. Like right there, I play keyboards, I play guitar, and also practice kenjutsu. And with every type of peer, I can talk about those stuff. They find that amazing. They will encourage me to keep doing that. But whenever I talk about some fight or dispute somewhere, they always show me that bored face. They do not want to engage in that conversation. And they really basically want to leave me alone talking about the thing. And some of them even feel obliged to be there just to prove that they're friends. So let's not do that, okay? Let's keep things simple and straight. So to finish this video, let's just sum up what is important. So, and if you're right or left talking to the opposite side, let's be first scientifically accurate. So there will be no form of disagreement, okay, about wherever topic you're discussing. Scientifically, a male is a human adult male, and a man, in case, right? A man is a human male adult, and a woman is a human female adult. That won't change. That's just science, and that's straight. And that's good. We need those kinds of things. Secondly, accept how the other person feel like, and you accept yourself how you feel like. Do not require somebody else's validation. Do not try to force your mind into the other person. Okay, I'm talking that to anyone who does those things. Okay, if you are transgender, accept yourself. Do not require somebody else's validation. If you are talking to a transgender, try to accept how they feel like it. If they're happy with it, do not try to force your ideology on them. And sometimes it's even better to try to engage in better conversations or about hobbies, music, art, and something else. Even like you can talk about a grain of sand and end up in a car saying only like spatial talk, all those things more complicated. Okay, so let's be better. Let's ask the right questions and give the right answers. If somebody tells you, well, how do you identify yourself? Be happy to say whatever you want, okay? But if somebody asks about your sex, what are you? The question is simple. What? He's asking what you are. Well, if you are a what, that's scientifically. He wants you to identify yourself scientifically. So you say if you're transgender and have been born a male, just say, well, I am a male. You do not have even to say a man. You just have to say a male or a female, okay? Because the question implies a what you are. And then you can go and say, like, but I identify myself as, I don't know, a hedgehog. And I can run incredible speeds and my hair is blue. Nobody cares. This is just a way to start a presentation. It's not even a way to start a conversation, because after present yourselves, then comes the conversation point when you talk about hobbies and things that you like, and then you have a good talk. Even if it's a peep talk, you're not talking about those things. We all know that. We all know how ends those kinds of topics on peep talks. So let's keep it simple. Whenever I talk to a transgender or a not straight person, I approach just like that. And tell you what, there is no hate. They accept me, they accept my ideas, I accept how they feel like it. We play with it, they play with me, and they basically love me just like I love them all. That's what friends should be like. That's how a human person should be like. So let's keep simple, guys. Let's keep the answers straight and also the questions. And let's answer the questions as they are presented and do not try to deviate from that. And if, yeah, sometimes people will come in bad faith, ask you questions they aren't supposed to, well, ignore it. Ignore it. You are free. Yes, you have free speech. Yes, you have liberty that helps you do whatever what you want. But you also have the option to say no, the option to just walk away, to move forward. We all have that. But nobody wants to. And you know what that's called? Pride, ego. When you have the option to walk away, when you have the option to say no, or you have the option to just stay quiet, and you do not take those options, those rights, just to prove a point based on your ego, that's just pride. And the same goes for both sides. If you have a question that you think you shouldn't be asking because it's from a bad faith, it's not a good question to be made, okay? And you still do to validate your ego, not what you think about, not your firm beliefs, but validate your ego. That's also just pride. So that just tell me more about the person asking the question than the question itself. And that's fucking weird. There you go, the bad words again, the curses. But okay, this video is not supposed to be monetized, and it's reaching a threshold. Okay, again, 24 minutes. It shouldn't be that big of a video. Okay, let me take a sip of my beer. Cheers up. So yeah, I'm able to answer any questions you have about this video. Okay, and again, I hope a bigger channel will tackle this question better with a more proper edited video, okay? and do not distort what I said. Okay, let's all find a middle ground. And then we can ask about politics. We can talk about politics and religion, all that stuff that is being wrong. But the first thing we should do first is not divide ourselves, but try to unite everyone. And yeah, I'm an equalist, not a egalitarian person. Equalitarian person, I do not know how to pronounce that in English. Don't care, by the way. Okay, I'm not an equalitarian person. I am an equalist, and it's pure sense. We all are equals, and we have the same rights. We can respect, because if you don't, there's consequences. So you probably will respect others, and that's it. Okay. And if you found yourself up to the end of this video, I give you my congratulations. You are a more enlightened person right now, and you will probably be tackling all those questions and all those approaches better from now on. Or maybe you're just stupid and you ignore all that. But I still don't care. I treat my life like I should, and I'm giving you the option to be better. If you take it or not, you're free to choose. Cool, right? And that's it. I will not tell you to follow my channel. I will not tell you to see all my videos. They are all about stuff that I just cannot be quiet about, that because usually it's screwing up something that I like society on its own. And another video I talk about the question why people are complaining on the ending of an animation series. So my videos are not all about politics or ideologies, okay? I just say whatever I want to say. It's my free speech on action. And if people agree, good. If they do not, good too. As long as they be politely unagreeable and say things politely, we all accept. We can make a discussion. We can talk about it and find a common ground, because that's what you're supposed to be doing in the first place on the discussion. Okay, so cheers. See you up. Do not know when I will be able to record another video like that. I have a lot of controversial thoughts about everything that's happening to society. Some of those thoughts will probably not be accepted on society itself, on any side of the flanks, both right and left, but I still don't care. That's how I feel like stuff, and I will not hide myself just because about what people think. Okay? And to finish that up and sum it up, have a good whatever time of the day is it, on your country or on your place, and let's all be happy what we are. See ya. Oh, by the way, I identify myself as a god, but I do not perform miracles, so do not pray. I will not answer.